Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And this is your tip of the week. Many of you have told me that you want to learn how to make clothing. The best way to learn is you first have to learn how to read the patterns. So when you buy a pattern, doesn't matter which pattern it is, inside is a pattern instruction sheet and then all of your pattern pieces. So if you're first time buying a pattern, you have no idea how to get started, you're not going to understand what to do. You have to learn how to read the symbols that are on the pattern pieces and understand how to read the pattern sheet. So if you're really interested in learning how to make clothing, there is going to be a link listed below your YouTube screen on how to read a pattern. So if you've never done it before, or you need a little bit of a refresh on how to read one because it's been a long time, I highly suggest you look at that. It's going to take a lot of the mystery out of it. So also watch all the different tutorials that I have on making clothing. You may not be interested in that particular style of clothing piece, but you will learn so much about how clothing pieces are assembled together. In the previous tip of the week, I showed you how to change the length of a t-shirt and also change the way the line flows. In other words, not having a straight edge across. I showed how to do a little scoop to where it came up higher on the hip and lower down below that. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, watch that previous tip of the week. Now in this one, I'm going to show you how to help you with your neck openings. In other words, I've bought shirts where when I try it on, it looks good, feels good, but then when I'm wearing it and I'm moving around, I find the neck openings too wide and it begins to fall off my shoulder. I lean to my left, and a lot of you told me you also lean to one side. So I'm going to give you a solution on how you could prevent that from happening. I alter a lot of my t-shirts and I keep the scraps, especially those pieces that I cut off at the bottom because I'm very short. I often have to shorten the length of a blouse or a t-shirt. So I keep these scraps because I can use them on future projects to help me alter the clothing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Here is a piece of jersey knit that used on a t-shirt. I've cut it 1.5 inches wide and it's about 6 inches long. When you cut fabric, especially this jersey knit that's on t-shirts, it has a tendency to curl towards one particular direction. So whatever way it wants to curl is the way you need to fold it. So you're going to fold the edges in 1/4 inch and press it. Fold the other side in 1/4 inch and press it. Then you fold it in half again and press it. Then you take, and I'm making 2 for this particular demonstration. Now I've used white thread so you can see. So stitch on each side of this strip that you're making. This is going to help it from curling too much. They have a tendency to curl. So by putting a stitch on each side, keeps it from curling too much. So I'm going to add it up here in this V neckline because a lot of my V necklines fall to one side. So I've turned it to where the back side or it's inside out. And then you want to make sure it's smooth and it's laying nice and even and it's not all wrinkled. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to place it kind of like an X, okay? And then place it here. Now right now it's not very even. This side is up higher. So I'm going to make sure that it's even across this way and even across the other way. Then place pins to hold it down. Then try it on to make sure it looks even. So then if you like the way it looks, you want to turn it to where it's front side out. It's all still pinned together. Now here's one that I've already finished. Now I just happen to have some of this fabric left over from the bottom of this shirt. I cut some of it off and I used it up in this V. Now on all your t-shirts like this, you're going to notice a stitch line right along here. Use matching thread and then you're going to stitch right over that on all 4 sections where the pieces meet the t-shirt. Let me slip my hand under there so you can see how that looks, and it keeps it from falling off my shoulder. Let me show you one more. Now on this one, I used a different color. I had some of this fabric left over from where I trimmed off the bottom to make it shorter, but I decided I was going to pick a color that would kind of go with the colors of the stripes. So even though this is slightly lighter than this blue, it still looks really nice. I'm going to stick my hand in there so you can see how it looks. And this shirt was really bad. It was always a problem. I was constantly adjusting the shirt. When I put this on, I never had to adjust anymore. Now, I don't have a blouse that I can show you where this particular situation is, but I have had blouses where the neckline is really wide this way. It's kind of an oval shape, and it falls off my shoulder. So you could use this same technique by either putting 1 or 2, leave a little bit of a hole here, and then put 1 or 2 across here, using fabric that complements the shirt. So look at the colors in your fabric. Find some fabric that matches one of those colors, or if you shorten the blouse, use some of that fabric and create those little strips to put it in there, and that will prevent it from giving you that sexy shoulder look. Well, I hope this tip of the week was helpful to you and that you learned something new. Remember, the more sewing tutorials you watch, the more you're going to learn and the more confident you're going to feel every time you approach a new sewing project. Now remember, there's all kinds of links below your YouTube screen in the description section. You just scroll down, click on Show More, or the down arrow. You will see a playlist link for all of my tips of the week. You'll also see a playlist for my cross-stitch tips. So for those of you who've been wanting to learn to do cross-stitch, make sure you click on those links. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.